everybody. Welcome back to Cat and Kitty Gaming. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Matt.
And we are back here playing Factorio, picking up where we left off.
Yes, indeed. So last time we just kind of got things rolling in the very early game. We have some coal, we have some stone, we have some iron production, and over here in this general area is a little bit of copper.
Some pretty sparkly copper.
Yes, indeed. It is very beautiful. This is not gold. Don't make that mistake. Some people are like, ooh, gold, and nope.
It looks very orange. I don't know why you think
copper is
this
quite
is
orange.
gold. Is there gold in this game?
There is not gold in this game.
Oh, no gold.
No.
That's sad.
It's just when you're playing a resource management game, you always think, oh, gold. You know, that's always going to be one of the things. But
So all that glitters is not gold in this
no,
game.
indeed. Does this glitter?
It is copper. No, it
I don't
doesn't
even
really
know.
glitter.
It doesn't really sparkle.
I just like to think of it as glittering.
Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to talk about getting some electric power up and running. And it is a slightly complex topic to tackle. So I'm going to try to explain things as I'm doing them. And Kelsey's going to try her best to help me out with this here.
We'll see.
Yeah, power is kind of what you would expect is you get water and you boil the water into steam, and then the steam spins turbines, which generates electricity. Kelsey, you want to go ahead and refill those for us there?
Yes, I will be the Santa.
Perfect. Be the Santa. Apparently that's a thing in Factorio now, is if you're going to deliver coal, it just makes you Santa. Which is, yeah, I don't know. I guess Santa's just feeling really vindictive this year.
Yep, lots of coal going on in this.
Indeed.
Lots of people who are, well, not even people, machines who are naughty.
Naughty machines. Okay, so let's go over to our water source, which is a little bit of a hike over this way.
This is like the savannah. There's like one watering hole in the entire region.
Do all the biters come to water
I'm
here?
guessing that all the creatures come here to drink.
I'm guessing so. I actually don't even know. Okay, let's clear a little space. So, let's go ahead and plunk down a few things. I did create a few things off screen just to help speed up this video a little bit here. Let's go ahead and plunk down our offshore pump. The offshore pump actually does not require any power. This is the one thing in Factorio that apparently works by magic. I don't know how, but it does not require any power. Yes, magic. Oh, I forgot to make pipes. Okay, let's make a few pipes real quick.
Look at these dark,
What now?
moving splotches.
Oh, those are
these
fish. Indeed, you can actually catch them.
Can
Here,
I catch? Oh,
yeah.
Can I catch it? Oh, yeah. How do I? Oh, I got it.
No, I think I actually got it.
Oh man.
Here,
I'll
come over and get
one.
this one. Yeah, go fishing. No, hold it in. Hold it in.
Wait. What?
Hold in the button. Right click.
Right. Oh.
You can do it. Hold it in.
No.
There you go.
I got it. Okay.
I don't actually know. I think like if you're injured, it can like restore health. Maybe I forget what fish even do. They're not that useful. But there
Perhaps
you go. You can fish
we,
by hand.
Get to make some sushi.
Indeed. Maybe there's some sushi research we can unlock.
They specified it was raw fish, so sounds sushi-ish to me.
Okay. Let's plunk a couple pipes down here. So what we're going to be doing is we need to use boilers to power steam engines. I'm actually going to make one more steam engine. Here, what do I have? I've got 4 of those. So technically I don't have enough materials. Okay. We'll go back and get more materials later. So we're going to have our water line connect right here. And I'll explain why I'm configuring this thing in the exact shape I am in a moment here. For now, we're just going to plunk down 2 boilers separated by a pipe and 2 more boilers. And we can do this for quite a bit, actually. The ratio we can do here, now I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about like ratios and how to make things like maximum efficiency because that's just a really complicated subject. But basically you can do 2 steam turbines per boiler. And 1 offshore pump can power 10 boilers and 20... Oh, no, wait a minute. Is it 10 and 20? You know, I actually forget what that ratio is. I will look it up and put it on the screen for you so that I do not mislead you with false information. Regardless, we don't need that many right now. We only need a few. So...
Oh, this squeak through mod. I see.
Yes, it allows you to go between pipes and things.
That's so nice. I hated running around this whole thing.
Yeah, that just makes the game a lot harder to play when you have to worry about all that. So now we're going to connect a few power poles here, like this, and they can kind of fit just on each side of these, not turbines, what are they called? Steam engines, that's what I'm trying to say. And the next thing we need to do is we need to get coal down here. So, Kelsey, now what we need to do is make a whole lot of belts. Because we're going to need a bunch of belts to get down here. It is indeed belt time. So let's go back over here and gather some resources. And let's stop. Oh, okay. Maybe, Kelsey, you can run around and refill everything with coal. That might be a... That's just going to be a thing now, isn't it?
Yep.
Santa Claus.
You can refer to me as Santa.
Okay, Santa. Go and deliver some coal to everybody. Okay, this should provide me with sufficient materials for quite a bit here. And let's see. I'm going to make... Let's maybe start with 2 of those. And we'll need a couple more of them. How many pipes have I got? I think I have enough pipes. Okay. And that's still cracking away. And let's refill all these guys here. Okay.
So remind me again what the shortcut is for depositing something into a machine.
Oh, yes. So you hold the thing in your hand.
Okay.
And then control-click on whatever you want to deposit it into.
Huh. Okay, that's fast.
Yes, it's quite quick. Okay, so let's start off here. Now, we need to use coal to power our boilers. Let's go ahead and plunk these down here. Now, these are...
quite a bit of coal at the moment.
Oh, okay. We'll just go ahead and fuel all of our things that need fueling. I see one flashing up there. So these are electric mining drills, so naturally they require electricity. Now, you may say, now, how do we get mining drills to work if we don't have electricity yet? Well, we can kind of jumpstart the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take our conveyor belts here. Kelsey's favorite thing in the universe.
Oh, I'm going to ride on it. It's so short. Oh, here I go.
Yep. Kelsey will join us eventually.
Here I come.
She'll be on those belts at some point. And how far do I have to... Oh, I have to go pretty far. Okay, this is good. It's not ideal to belt things quite this far in the early game, but sometimes your coal is just too far away from your water source and you don't really have a choice. So I need to make myself quite a few more belts. Oh, and you do actually run faster when you're going the same direction as a belt, which is a handy little trick to know. All right, so I'm actually going to go backwards here.
You don't really seem to run that much. Oh, just a little bit.
You run a little slower when you're going against the belts.
You're going against the flow.
All right, so I'm going to leave a little gap here, and we'll talk about why that is in a moment. And where's our connector? Okay, there we go. So we're going to connect over here. And I want our belts to go like that.
Belts.
Kelsey's favorite thing. I mean, I will admit there's a certain charm to this. Oh, remember how I said offshore mining pumps apparently work by magic?
Yeah.
Well, apparently so do belts, because they don't require power. They just go.
The energy of the universe.
Yes, they're just run off the key of the planet or something. Okay. So now we need to make 4 burner inserters.
Oh, I know what those are.
Yes, you do know what those are. And again, there is a reason for those, and I'll explain that momentarily. Okay, so I need to make 2 more steam turbines or steam engine. I always get the general idea right, but I tend to say the wrong thing a lot in this game. I apologize for that. Here, let's make this look nice. Hey, it's going on YouTube. What the heck? Let's make it look pretty. I guess we'll center it. That should satisfy most people. Actually, wait. What is centered? Is that the center? I guess we'll call that the center. I don't really know what else to do. Okay. And we'll put down these 2 steam turbines here. Steam engines. Sorry, steam engines. Okay. So we've got ourselves a little thing going here. And Kelsey is running around with the belts again.
Yep.
So the way this is going to work is I need to grab some coal. You don't have any... I
have wood.
Oh, actually, you know what? That'll work. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put some wood in.
Plunk some wood in there.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put wood in one of these boilers. Let's just put in like half that wood.
We should split them evenly amongst the...
You can. We only need like a little bit of power to start off with. Okay. All right. Now I need to run these electric poles. So one handy trick for running electric poles is you can just kind of like hold down your mouse button and it'll just kind of auto place them like every so often, however far they need to be apart.
That's handy.
Which is really handy, yeah. Oh, okay, there I messed it up a little. Come on. All right, let's...
Running on the belts.
You're going to see a lot of that, folks. Get used to it.
I'm so fast.
Okay, so now we've connected to power here. Oh, okay, I need to connect the other one. So, what you can see here is our electric mining drills are now being supplied with electricity. And they're sending coal, which is going to go all the way down here.
Look at it go.
I know. It's not very much coal, but we can change that pretty soon here. We just needed to get it started. So the coal is going to come down here. And these burner mining drills, or sorry, burner inserters are going to grab it, put it into the boiler. Boiler is going to provide electricity. Electricity is going to power those mining drills, and the cycle will continue and continue. And naturally, these are going to provide a lot more electricity than those mining drills are going to use. So we'll have a nice power surplus, and we can keep doing that.
So you know what this is?
What?
It's a continuation of the circle of coal.
I suppose it kind of is, in a nice poetic sense of the word. Now, the reason we use burner inserters is if, for example, I were to use electric-powered inserters, which they just say inserters, but they run off electricity. If I were to put one of those here and we'd have like some kind of power outage, the inserters would stop working completely. Now, burner inserters work off of the coal that is feeding this whole system. So they will keep working even if there's no electricity. So that's why we want to use burner inserters. They're very useful for that purpose.
That makes sense.
Yes. So our coal is finally making its way down here. And that is not very much coal, but it'll be enough to keep this powered for a little while.
We need more of the drills.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and plunk down 2 more drills right away, just so that we have some, like, we can scale forward a little bit. Why don't you run around and harvest all the resources from all of our little furnaces and everything.
All right.
All right, so let's go ahead and put that there. Another one there. Okay, that one's not powered, so we're going to power that. And we got to have belts here. And you'll notice that resources can be placed on either side of a belt, and that will become relevant for certain kinds of designs later on in the game. It's generally unwise to mix resources on the same side of a belt.
Yeah.
Now, if you have, say, like, coal on one side and copper on the other, that's usually fine, depending upon your setup. But don't have, like, copper and iron on the same side of a belt. That just causes all sorts of problems. And we'll encounter some more scenarios that would help you understand why later on in the game.
We need chests to deposit some of this stuff into.
Oh, there was a random chest here. There you go. If you need a chest, you can put stuff in there.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we have some electricity up and running, actually, we can start automating some things because we have electricity.
The power of automation.
Indeed.
It's like this whole game is the power of automation.
That's actually pretty much true. This game is really about automation at its core. So I've got a laboratory there. Now, this is how basically the whole progression system in Factorio works, is you have laboratories, and, wait. In the description it says Lab Carry Gupta?
Oh, I see that too.
What the heck does that mean? Is each lab named something different? Hang on, let me make another one and see what it says. Okay, that's going to take a few seconds. So yeah, the whole progression system is based on labs, which you can insert science packs into, and certain kinds of technologies take certain kinds of science packs. So the very first kind of science is really basic. It just requires copper, plates, and iron gear wheels. It's very easy to make.
Wait, what are they called? Science packs? I thought they were called potions.
Oh, no, they're not. No. They do kind of look like potions, like they're that shape, but they're not actually potions.
Okay.
Okay, well, so I'm going to put another lab down here. What does this thing say? Lab Jamie Lawson? Does each lab get its own name?
I bet these are like people who worked on the game. That's how they tribute.
Well, the company that makes this is not huge. I want to say there's like maybe 20 people or something. It's not a huge team. That's really interesting. I wonder if these people are like financial backers or something. I don't know. I've never noticed that before. That's one of the fun things about this game is you find little stuff like this that you never noticed before.
Little hidden nuggets of fun.
Little Easter eggs. Okay, so we obviously don't have like the capacity to automate everything yet, so I'm just going to handcraft like a few science packs just to get things going. Actually, Kelsey, one thing that
these need inserters.
No, not yet. That'll come later. So, one thing that you can do, Kelsey, is if you're crafting something and you want to like make a bunch of it, you can right click to craft 5 of it instead of 1. What does shift click do? Let's see if I can remember this. Shift click. Oh, okay, that's like everything. Yeah. So, if you hang on. How do there we go. If you shift click on something, it'll make the maximum amount your character can possibly make. And what is control click? Control click is... That doesn't do anything. Yeah, okay. So right click is like make 5 of it, and then shift click is make like oodles and oodles and bazoodles of it.
Noodles of noodles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always kind of wondered what these labs are. Do you go in there to craft things? Like what? They're so small.
I guess the idea is supposed to be that there's like science robots inside there, and they need the science packs to like fuel their research. I don't know. This game is only loosely based on reality, as most games are.
It's just an interesting design.
It is an interesting design. I mean, here, you'll see once they fire up, there's actually like a cool animation that happens.
Yeah, it's like electricity,
like sparks
right?
and stuff. Science happening.
See why I thought it was a potion? Totally looks like
they
potions.
They are kind of that shape. I do understand. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can press T to open the research menu. And the very first thing we want to research is, of course, automation. That takes 10 science, and that's going to unlock the ability to make assembling machines and long-handed inserters. And assembly machines are really the kind of the critical component that, like, you will probably have more assembly machines than just about anything else in your factory because they're very important. They automate.
Assuming that when you research something in this game, it applies to both of us,
yes,
right?
It's for like the map, shall we say, not like per player. So I'm going to go ahead and start that research, and it'll go very quickly because there's 2 labs working on it. It's a very cheap technology.
Look at it go. It's flashing.
Now you'll see down like in the bottom left, it'll say like, oh, you know, I started the research or whatever, and it'll continue to tell us like who started what technology, that kind of thing.
It's time to ride the belts.
Riding the belts. Okay. Now that we have started some basic electricity and stuff, it's time to start automating some things. Before we do that, I would like to get our power situation a little more secure here.
Ooh, look, we have quite a backup of coal happening.
We do. That's one of the nice things about electricity in the early game is it doesn't take like a ton of coal. It's pretty quick. Or what am I saying? It's pretty efficient. That's what I'm trying to say. So Kelsey, would you feel comfortable like doubling this design?
Down here?
Yeah, just continuing to expand it down this way. You'll have to move some power poles.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you'll have to make everything by hand, obviously, because we don't have like factories to make this stuff yet.
I will try.
So these are boilers, and then the things behind them are the steam engines. And then you need to separate, just pay attention to how this is set up here. So you need 2 boilers, a pipe, and then 2 boilers, and then another pipe, so that there's enough space to put a power pole in between. So what I need to start doing now is getting our mining automated. Even though we're using this burner mining technology, which is useful, especially compared to doing it by hand, it is still very slow, and I have to come babysit it from time to time. And that's obviously not what we want. We want to automate everything. All right, so I've got a bunch of resources now. So, sort of the lifeblood of the factory is these electric mining drills. There's, like, even at this early point in the game, this is already, like, the best mining thing available to us. There's not, like, a nuclear mining drill or something later in the game. Like, this is the best option available to us. Now, Kelsey, I'm going to go ahead and explain this even though you're not watching me, but you'll see what I'm doing once, you come around and see the design. It's really quite straightforward. So really all we're going to do is we're just going to make like rows of miners, and those of course are going to be powered by electricity. So I've got some power poles queued up ready to go. One thing that kind of trips up new players to this game is they don't understand the sheer scale at which this game happens.
It's terrifying.
It is actually quite terrifying. Now let me hit the P key. Let me just pull up some things here. So let's look at how many items we're producing per hour. Okay, so about 4,000 coal. 3.5 thousand iron, 3.3 thousand iron plates. And that all sounds like quite a lot. That is absolutely nothing. That is a drop in the bucket. I have had factories where I was producing 200,000 iron plates per hour, and it was still not enough to feed my whole factory.
I shudder at the thought.
Yeah, that'll just give you a sense of how epic the scale of this game gets. And that is why automation is so absolutely critical. And in fact, because I'm focusing as much on commentary as I am actually playing the game, I'm actually being a little bit lazy. I'm probably producing more things by hand than I really should. But sometimes that's just kind of what you have to do just to sort of get the game, up and running. Just get off the ground. Just produce a few things by hand here and there.
This game requires so much brain power. It's like we sit here in silence half the time just thinking about everything.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of true. When we play this game together, there's a lot of silent thinking that occurs. Now, as I'm placing this, you'll notice there's like a green box around it. That is the range it'll mine from. So if I place miners like in that configure, like let's say I did something like that. They have a space there that's overlapping, so that part is going to get mined out earlier than the others. It's not necessarily a bad thing if that happens. It's just something to know about this game. So let's just start off by putting down, I don't know, I don't have to do like a ridiculous amount of these. Let's do like maybe 10 or something. That's a good number to start with. And we're going to go ahead and put some belts down. Okay, now here's where Factorio gets interesting. You have to... Oh, I see you're making some progress over there.
I think I'm doing it right.
Yeah, you're getting it done. Yeah, it looks so good. Looks good to me so far.
Thanks for the encouragement.
You're very welcome. Now, with Factorio, we have to really think ahead. We have to plan for where we want our factory to be and what we want it to look like.
Oh, that's hard. That's the hard part for me.
Especially in early playthroughs, because you just don't know what to expect. So I want to make basically what we're going to call a starter base fairly quickly here. And a starter base is really designed just to get you some early technology and get you up and off the ground. And then we're going to make our actual main base. And that's going to be huge. So for now, I think we're going to maybe put a starter base type thing kind of in this open space between our resources and our power. That looks like it's probably enough space. And then later on in the game, once we have like our full production up and running, we're going to be using what's called the main bus system. If you've played Factorio, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you might not be sure what that means. I'll explain in greater detail once we get to that point. For now, all you need to know is we are working on getting some early game stuff up, and then we'll get to the bigger late game epic stuff once we're there.
Main bus.
Yes, indeed. Okay, you know what? I probably want that belt to run the other way. Yeah, let's have that run the other way.
Okay, I think I doubled your setup.
Okay. I shall come and inspect your work.
Oh boy. Be gentle with me.
I shall.
This part was pretty straightforward. There are things later that will be much more complicated.
Yeah. And this is honestly one of the best things to do if you're learning to play Factorio, is just copy existing designs until you learn how they work and why they work and that kind of thing. Okay, yeah, that looks good to me.
Yes,
and
I get the pass.
Yes, you did it. You did it correctly. Very nice. I think we can put 2 more boilers and 4 more. No, wait a minute. Is it 10 or is it 20? Anyway, like I said, I will look up that number for you, and I will make sure I have that right, so I don't give you false information. Okay. So Kelsey Lynn.
Yes.
Why don't we? Okay. My next assignment I have for you. Go and refuel. Actually, you know what? Don't bother refueling, but do go grab some stone and make us a whole boatload of just furnaces. We need a bunch of furnaces.
Furnaces.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go get some power. And generally speaking, you want your power to run just to whatever is like most closely available. So instead of running like all the way over to the source, I just come right here. You don't need to have power poles running literally everywhere, just a few places. So why don't you make us 20 furnaces?
Okay. I actually have 20 already.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Let's just make a smelting column. Let's just make it right up here. Just make it real simple. Sorry, I'm thinking here. We want to bring coal up, and let's put them on separate belts. Yeah, okay. We actually need to do some more technology research before we can do the thing we need to do. So what you can do is do what I just did here, except on copper.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which way should the belt go? Upwards like this?
Yeah, have the belt going kind of up in that direction. You know what? It doesn't really matter. Just do whatever, and we'll adjust it. It's belts are very easy to
That's
change
true.
back.
You can replace them
if you mess up something.
Okay, I got it. I'm off to the copper.
Yeah, like kind of start something like maybe like start making row kind of like that maybe.
Okay.
That way we can just continue building additional rows later on.
Got it.
Yeah. You want to always make sure you can get as many miners as possible on a patch, because it doesn't really matter like how long a patch lasts so much as how fast you're getting resources out of it. You can always add more production. So it's better to get as efficient as possible rather than just like, trying to stretch the time out. That's usually not a good idea in this game.
Okay.
Okay, so let's put in a bunch there. Hang on, I will find this. There it is. That's the technology I want. Okay.
The menus alone in this game are confusing.
They can be a tad
navigate.
daunting. I will not lie. Oh, by the way, there's that really cool like electric arc animation that we were talking about earlier. So I guess there's like a zappy robot in there that like, I don't know.
Yeah,
is creating
he's
Frankenstein's monster or
zapping
something.
the potions.
Did you say zapping the potions?
Yeah,
What'd you say?
he's zapping the potions
zapping the
into
potions.
life.
Okay. And yes, of course. Okay, so next order of business, I need to get some coal up here. And that is something which, if it wasn't made clear by our earlier system, furnaces work by coal. Now, there are electric furnaces later on in the game, but that's quite a bit later on in the game. So we want to start off with coal-powered ones. And since this is all early game, and this is not really intended to be permanent, this is intended to last us for like, I don't know, maybe a few hours worth of gameplay, and then we'll build something more permanent that'll get us, further in. Oh, I just realized how nonchalant that sounded. Okay, so in Factorio, you're looking at like a 40-plus hour gameplay, something like that. I mean, obviously there are people out there who are like crazy speedrunners that have beat the game in like 2 or 3 hours, but I am not a speedrunner.
I feel like it's gotta be longer than 40 hours.
Well, it all depends on how anal you want to be about your whole setup. Like, could you beat the whole game, in just 30 or 40 hours flat? Yeah. But if you want to like perfect everything and streamline it like some people do, then you're going to spend a lot more time making it work, well. And that's kind of the thing about Factorio, is that you can be like as particular as you want, really. Or you can just kind of get it done as quick as possible. It's totally up to you. There's no like, obviously there's wrong ways to do it, but there's no like one singular right way to do everything. And I think that's kind of cool.
Personalized experience.
Exactly.
Just make it what you want to make it.
All right, our coal is on the way. How's your progress down there on the thing, honey?
I am powering it up.
Oh, okay. This might not be great. Okay, let me explain what you did.
See what I mean, people?
I did demonstrate for you. I did demonstrate, okay. The reason why this might not be great is you notice the little green box around the miner when you hover around it?
Yeah.
Notice how the miners on the left, only like the four like squares on like the very right side are touching copper.
Okay.
So if you hover over it, you'll notice the expected resources like, I don't know, between 2 and 8 on each of these. Mm-hmm. And then the ones on the right, it's like 16, 80, 99. Like, it's way higher.
Let's just flip these.
No, it's not about flipping them.
And start another.
Oh, okay.
row.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that could work.
So I'll just flip these around and then I'll move those over there.
Well, okay, then the problem you'll have... Well, hold on. How much does that cover? Let's just look at this. Okay, yes, that would actually work. You'd still cover all the copper. You just want to make sure you're not missing any, if that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, so that'll work. Okay. This is why I explain things as we go, so that she learns and hopefully you learn.
Already messing it up. Didn't do it the matte way.
Well, it's not even about the matte way. Like, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work.
The matte way.
I love you.
We'll see at the end of this game if our marriage survives this.
Our marriage has survived worse than Factorio, Kelsey.
True.
So much worse. That sounded way darker than I meant for it to. It's not like there was attempted murder or something.
Yes. Matt's actually a felon. We forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah, totally. She straightened me out good and proper.
He did some hard time.
Yep, I did. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a smelting column here.
Great. Try number 2.
Try number 2. You can do it.
There's always something to mess up in this game.
That is actually very true. She's not just being pessimistic. Like, there are a lot of ways to mess things up, unfortunately. I wish it were not so sometimes.
Hard for me.
It's okay. That's why we're learning together, right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
I did my best.
You did your best. Okay, so logistics is finished researching. And logistics provides a couple of useful things. One of which is the splitter. The splitter is exactly what it sounds like. It splits one track into...
Oh, yeah.
And we want to... That. Aha! Okay. Actually, okay, that's too close to the smelting column. So we're going to just delete a bunch of that real quick. And Kelsey's riding around on the belts again, because that's what she does.
Yep, when I'm idle, I just stand here and ride.
Okay, so hey, now you can see what the smelting column is that we're making together here.
Lovely.
Yeah.
These look like little temples.
Oh, they kind of do, like a little like Aztec temple type thing or whatever.
Like the Mayans or something.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going to run this over here and make the underground go there and then connect that. Okay, so what we've done here is we have one resource on each side of the belt. So Kelsey, just go ahead and run this other end of the belt around so that it gets near to the furnaces here. So we want it to look like that.
Okay, should I do that to the other side too?
Yes, that's what I asked you to do, please. There you go.
Oh, wait. It didn't curve.
What? Huh? You probably just built it in the wrong order. That can happen sometimes. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. And now this is the first time we've been using electric inserters. And those do, of course, require electricity. That's
Lots
their
of
name.
power poles.
Yep. And let's just go ahead and run that down there. There we go. All right. We're firing on all cylinders now. If you haven't made any inserters yet, Kels, now would be a good time to make a few and start doing this.
All right. Electric inserters.
Uh-huh. I'm going to start powering some of these guys. Oh, those guys are already powered. That's perfect. So then I'm going to just run a few poles over here. And like that. And that should be enough to power them. Okay. So now basically what's happening here is our electric inserters are grabbing coal and iron, putting it in here. And the smelters, I keep saying that. Furnaces are smelting it into plates. And the plates are popping out over here. And shazam, we have successfully automated our first resource.
I don't know if I did this part right, but...
Why? Okay, you have the inserters the wrong direction.
Oh, backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
The direction the grabby hand is facing is the direction that they pull from.
Got it.
Yeah, and then you can see you can still rotate them when they're auto deployed, which is actually kind of nice.
That is so nice.
Let's just do that for the rest of these guys.
This one in the middle needs a pole.
Oh, yeah, that one's unpowered. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Hey, we got some automation done. Woohoo.
Automation for the win.
Now, this can power, like what we've got going here can power like a much longer column, but I just kind of wanted to get this down just for sake of demonstration. So, yeah, we've got our resources going. We got a smelting column for iron. We're going to get one for copper going. We got some electric power. We got a nice little start going up here. Wouldn't you say?
I think so.
I think
I
so,
only
too.
messed up a couple of things. Overall, pretty successful.
You were learning, young Padawan. You are learning.
Yes, I am.
You're improving rapidly. I approve of your hard work.
You improve.
I improve.
You approve
Did I say
of my
improve?
improvement.
I approve of your improvement, indeed. Hey, thank you so much for watching, everybody. We're going to end this episode right here. We'd love to see you back next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
Bye, everybody.